Hey everyone, welcome. So I'm just doing an icebreaker video. I always encourage my clients to shoot content, and when it comes to me, I always freeze, which I don't understand because when I worked for an online school, besides teaching, we created content, and some days I would create 5 videos in a day. Um, I've created hundreds of teaching videos um, for my previous school. But now, when it comes to creating content for my company, my business, it's I don't know. It's a bit more scarier. I think I saw a post the other day which I actually commented on, where we often scared to create content because we are scared of the judgment that comes with it on social media. We know that lots of people create content and post, and then in the comments, it can either go very well or people can be very mean. And I think naturally, as humans, we're always scared of that judgment. Anyway, this morning I had a webinar with a company that trains mentees on how to do writing, and they invited me as a guest um, to speak to them about how to use LinkedIn. And I thought to myself, well, why not use this presentation, especially that I've just done the webinar, to create a video for you guys. So enough blabbing, let's get into it. This video is basically to discuss how you can master LinkedIn and use it to build a future for yourself. When I speak about building a future for yourself, I mean that you can use it to actually create a business for yourself or a side hustle for yourself, or opportunities where you can freelance. So let's learn and see how you can use LinkedIn to do that. So, why are we here? Why are we even discussing this? Well, LinkedIn has become the professional platform where jobs are advertised and people are creating communities where they are also working with each other. And on average, 6 people are being hired through LinkedIn every minute. That is either through the jobs that are advertised or by creating their own job opportunities, right? Where they post about themselves, their services, their skills, and someone spots them and someone says, wow, I want to hire that person. So how do you become one of these people that gets hired on LinkedIn? Either hired by people using your services or by being hired by getting a job role. So, the first thing you need to do is you need to understand how LinkedIn works, right? So, LinkedIn is like this massive city. Now, in a massive city, we know there's a lot of buzzing going around. There's lots of people in this city. So, who do we find in LinkedIn? Well, there's recruiters, right? Recruiters are on LinkedIn. They're trying to spot talent. They're trying to use it to hire people for their companies or for other companies. And then we have companies themselves that are using LinkedIn to build their brand. They want to let people know who they are, what they stand for, what they do. So they're using LinkedIn for that. Um, and then there's just a whole lot of knowledge on LinkedIn. People are sharing information about their um, their jobs. Like, what do they do? They're sharing educational posts, how to do this, how to do that. So there's just a whole lot of knowledge being shared on LinkedIn. Um, so that's how LinkedIn works. Now, the first thing you need to do is make sure that you have the perfect profile. So first impressions count. When someone looks at your profile, they're either going to look at it and be like, yeah, this is someone I want to work with, or no, this isn't someone that I want to work with. Now, one of the people that are considered to have one of the best profiles on LinkedIn is Justin Welsh. So let's look at his profile and we can use it to leverage and to see what our profile should look like. So the first thing is your photo. So that's the first thing someone sees of you, and you want to make sure that your photo is clear, it's friendly, and it's you. All right. I've seen a lot of AI generated photos, sorry, AI generated photos, and it's a bit distracting. Um, yeah, it's just make sure it's you. All right. So people can trust you as well. Then you want to have a magnetic headline. So in your headline, you want to tell people what it is that you do. All right. It's not just your job title, business owner. No, what is it that you actually do? And then your about section. Now, your about section is your summary of who you are, what you do. And I'm going to go into that in a bit more detail and explain to you how to write a brilliant about section. And then you have your banner. Now, there's still so many profiles that I see on a daily basis where a banner is blank. You want to make sure that that banner is filled in. Now, Canva actually has banner templates that you can utilize, and Canva is free. So use that if your banner is empty. Go to Canva and design a banner for yourself. Now, what are you going to put in your banner? Well, this is where you want to either have a tagline or a quote, or something about the industry you're in. If you have worked with brands, put those brands in. But basically, what is it that you do? And then under your about section, there's a section with skills. Make sure that you fill in those skills, have at least 5 skills, because those skills help you to get noticed, and it encourages people to actually message you. In fact, if you have at least 5 skills, according to statistics, you are 31 times more likely to be messaged. So, how do you write your about section then? Well, you want to tell your about section in a storytelling manner, not just the facts, but it's basically all about you, and your personality needs to come through in your about section. Now, very interestingly, the first 3 lines is what is seen before the see more button. So this is what I'm talking about. You see there's 3 lines there over the last decade, then in 2019, and then he's got an ellipsis. Now, those 3 lines can be seen, and if I need to read more, then, or if I want to read more, then I click on see more. So those 3 lines are very important because that's the first thing someone is going to read. And it's those first 3 lines that's going to get someone to decide, like, yes, I want to read more, or this is boring, and just to go on to the next profile. So you need to make those 3 lines your hook, which is intriguing and gets people to want to read more about you. And then when you're writing about your value, frame it. Okay, don't just say, I did this. Rather say, I love using this to help people do that. Okay. And then also at the end, include a call of action. So this is what you want to explain to people, what, or encourage them what to do next. So let's connect, let's book a call, check out my profile, go to my website, complete this quiz. Those are your different call to actions. And then you want to use LinkedIn to build a community. So you want to make sure that the community that you build is quality more than quantity. You can have 1 million followers on LinkedIn. It doesn't mean that that is a quality following. But if you have, let's say, 1,000 followers, but it's quality people, it's people that are engaging, it's people that are encouraging you, it's people that are educating. Those are the kinds of people that you want to connect with on LinkedIn. Now, when you're creating your community, you need to give it a bit of a personal touch. Don't just sit there and go, click, connect, 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 All right. And then at the end of the day, you've spent all your connections and that's it. They've just become connections. No, rather use those connections, but then send a personal message. So have a look at the person's profile and say, hi, Mr. or Mrs. So and so. All right. I had a look at your profile and this is what really impressed me. Or I noticed your post on this and I resonated with it because, okay? And then include I would love to connect. This um, puts you ahead of 87% of people because not many people are doing this when they send connection requests. And then engage with people's content. All right. Even if it's just a simple thank you so much for posting this, I learned this. Have maybe a follow-up question, but engage after connecting with the person. Not only on their content, but you can also engage with them in the DMs. If someone sends you a connection request and you don't get a message from them, send them a message. Say, thank you very much for connecting with me. I appreciate this connection because XYZ. Go and have a look at their profile, find something that you can talk about. And then join in the conversation. Make sure that you join different groups, follow hashtags, and just join in conversations with people on their posts. Now, when it comes to you and posting, you might think to yourself, like, what do I even post about? Right? I don't even know where to begin. Now, you need to make sure that your posts are structured. It needs to have a meaning. You can't just wake up today and be like, I want to post about trees and write a beautifully worded post about trees, but what was the purpose? Right? So you need to make sure that what you share has value and it's structured, it has a point. So come up with a content calendar and say on Monday I'm going to post this, on Tuesday I'm going to post this, on Wednesday I'm going to post this, all right? Or even if it's just once a week, every Friday I'm going to post this. Make sure that your posts are structured. And then there's different types of posts. It can be educational, share a lesson, teach people how to do something, share what you learned this week. I learned this. I learned that. All right. Ask questions. Use the polls. Polls are great for marketing research. If you are wondering if people will be interested in a product or what people view as important these days, use the polls. It's great for marketing research. Do some behind the scenes videos or snaps. They perform very well on social media. Um, if you are busy writing an article, take a video, take a photo of you doing that and post it. Do it behind the scenes. Then celebrate celebration posts. So you want to share your celebrations, if they're big, if they're small. If you finished a project, if you're like me and you're shooting your first video or your content, share it. It's a great way to connect with people, and people love celebrating other people's wins. Then you can follow the 70-20-10 rule when it comes to your content. So 70% must be of value. It must be informing, it must be educating, it must be helping people. So this can be in the form of tips, you can give away free resources, you can share your insights. Then 20% must be your personality. Share your journey, what challenges you had, what wins you had, what's your why. All right, this humanizes you, and it's so important because online we're just people. All right, we are online figures, but if people get to know you, get to know your why, get to know your journey, it makes you just so much more human, and people connect with that. People love to see that you make a mistake in a video, that you rub your nose, that you are human. We are human, okay? And then 10% is promotion. So talk about your achievements, talk about your services, but 10%. Don't flood the feed with all your services. All right. rather use that as a sprinkle and have 70% as helpful and beneficial for the people that are consuming your content. And then we have the 60-minute LinkedIn um, power workout. All right. So this is just a suggestion because sometimes, especially when you're starting out with LinkedIn, many people feel very overwhelmed and they say to me, Petrina, I don't even have time. 60 minutes a week, 1 hour in your week. 15 minutes, you connect with people and you send them messages. Okay. You also respond to your messages and your notifications. 15 minutes is where you are connecting with people's content. You're sending between 3 to 5 meaningful comments on their content. Then the next 15 minutes, you are writing a valuable post that you can share with people. And then your last 15 minutes is where you're going to send connection requests to at least 2 to 3 people with a personalized message. Right, then once you've done that, then this is my mission that I have for you for this week. So if you have watched the video up until now and you found it beneficial, thank you very much. For this week, I want you to tweak your profile. Go and have a look at your profile and update it. Make sure that your headline is written correctly. Make sure that you've got a professional looking video. Make sure that you've uploaded a banner. Then have one piece of engagement. So make sure that you've left at least one thoughtful comment on someone's post. Okay. And then have 5 new connections. So find 5 interesting people that you want to engage with, people that you view that you can work with, people that you want to learn from in your industry, and send them a connection request and send them a personal note along with it. When I speak about the personal note, I mean go and have a look at their profile and tell them what stood out to you. Is there a particular post that you resonated with? Are you interested in the job that they do and you want to know more? Make sure it's a thoughtful message. And then just remember, small habits create big ones. So if you can start with the small things and do that 1 hour a week, then it can help you to lead to even greater opportunities. So thank you very much if you've watched up until here. I can finally breathe. I've finished my first video. And if you want to know any more information, you're welcome to contact me. I would love to chat and see what you thought about the video. And if you've got questions or you need any assistance or help, reach out. I'm always here to assist. Bye, everyone.